Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. What a roller coaster day we have had. Actually, a roller coaster week because we have had highs and lows on some of our favorite stocks. And it actually is a great environment to run the wheel strategy on, but it's a different environment. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things I've been sharing with my community as we have been working through our trades this week because it's very different trading when stocks are soaring high and then trading when stocks are pulling back. And we are still in a bull market by all definitions. However, we are having a pullback, and this was very much expected and very much needed. But you do need to adjust your trading style to take advantage of the current environment. So today's video is going to share with you the differences and how you adapt so that you can make the most of your trading in any situation. So let's start with the basics because I'm going to be talking about 3 different aspects of the wheel strategy to help you better understand these different concepts. The first is selling puts. Now, when you sell puts, you're putting up the cash to buy a stock at a price that you agree to. You must have the cash available in your broker to be able to sell a put at the level of the strike price that you select. Now, you're going to be paid a premium for that. That's the income portion of the wheel strategy. Well, let's say you're actually put the shares. Now, on a green day for the stock, you can start selling covered calls. The reason they call it covered calls is because you already have the stock and it's covered when you sell the call, which is good because if you sell a covered call above the price that you acquired the shares at, you actually make money in 2 situations for that trade. You're going to receive a premium, that's your income, or selling the covered call for agreeing to give up your shares. But the best part of the strategy is, and the most lucrative part of this strategy is, when your stock rises from the share price you were put at to the share price it's called away at. And that's where you're going to see the bulk of your growth when you are running the wheel strategy. So in a bull market, when things are running high, if you are going to sell puts, I typically say to look for a delta at around a 0.2 delta. Now, you can be more aggressive when things are running strong and look at maybe a 0.3 delta. The 0.3 delta is going to give you a better opportunity to be put the shares. And that actually is a good thing in a bull market because then the shares will be taking off and it'll take you with it for all that great premium. Let's look at the other side of that equation. If you're selling covered calls in a bull market when a stock is surging, you actually want to be more conservative on your deltas because remember, the most that you'll make in this strategy is from the stock rising. So you don't want to give up your stock too soon, okay? So if you're selling covered calls, then we want to, in a bull market, we want to look at around a 0.2 or lower delta, and we never go out more than a week because that's just too risky when a stock is rising. Now let's talk about when the market is pulling back. When the market is pulling back, you're still going to make premiums in both scenarios, selling puts and selling calls. And you're still going to make money if you put the shares and the stock rises. But it does change the personality of trading a bit. Because when stocks are pulling back, you're actually going to make more money selling puts than when stocks are surging. Why is that? That has to do with the VIX. When the VIX rises like it is now, it actually has risen today, you will get more premium for selling puts. Now, there's less of an opportunity to make money on a stock rising if you're put the shares because when stocks are pulling back in a bear market, then they're more likely to trade sideways. So that's going to give you fewer opportunities to sell calls and to see appreciation of your stocks as they're rising. It can be done, but what you want to consider is your entry price. So when you are selling puts in a bear market or in a pullback period, you want to be super conservative on the price that you are put the shares. Ideally, I like to shoot for the bottom of the Bollinger Band because that's going to give you the best opportunity to actually see some stock appreciation during the following days if a stock decides to bounce off of the bottom of the band. Well, if that were to happen, now you can start looking at covered calls. Now, you're not going to make as much by selling covered calls when a stock is just trading sideways or barely moving up. But the main thing to consider in that scenario is only sell covered calls at or above the level you were put the shares at. That's very important because there's a more of a tendency for a stock to, like I said, trade sideways or even pull back, and you don't want to, in desperation to get premium, end up taking a bigger hit on having the stock called away at a price point that is below where you were put the shares. So that's something very important to consider when you are selling calls in a bear market. Also, if you're put the shares in a pullback or a bear market, you really need to have patience. And hopefully you selected a quality stock to sell puts on and to be put the shares. Because the opportunity to sell calls will not present itself as often, you do need to have the ability to have other money that you can live off of or trade with while you're waiting for the stocks you were put the shares on to actually start rising again. So that's very important to not trade with money that you can't afford to leave it parked in the stock market while things percolate and decide to move back up. Now, if it's a quality stock, eventually it will wake back up and it will start moving in the direction you need it to move. But you do have to have that patience. Otherwise, you're going to end up getting out of the position, and that's going to cost you precious capital that is going to work against your whole concept of making money and making income with the wheel strategy. Also, if you are interested in purchasing leaps, this is a golden opportunity to purchase leaps when stocks have overcorrected and they're pulling back. And if you happen to find yourself in the middle of a market crash or a bear market, you wait till a stock settles down and trades sideways for a few days, or maybe even hits a level of support and starts going back up. That's the optimum time to purchase a leaps, which is a call option a year or more out. If you wait and ensure that you're purchasing leaps at that point, then you are going to have so many more green days on that leaps versus if you buy leaps when a stock is surging. That's not the best time to buy leaps. We buy leaps when a stock is beat up, battered, and bruised. Now let's discuss what you have to do with some of your current trades. One thing that me and my community members spent most of the day on was rolling our trades. So we have almost 50 trades expiring tomorrow. The vast majority of them are in significant profit. We only had about 5 of them that we had to take action on of the 50 that we wanted to roll down in strike price. Now, let me tell you why it's great to roll a trade down and out in strike price. Two things happen when you do this. So let's say you're getting close to your strike price, or worse yet, your strike price has been breached and the stock is trading well below your strike price. So if you were to take assignment, then you would have to be even more patient while you waited for recovery. Well, one thing you can do is you can actually buy the contract back. You're going to be paying more than you received in premium, but then you turn around and sell a new contract for a date that's further out, and ideally you go down in strike price, making the trade safer and requiring less capital, and you receive a credit for it. The reason you would receive a credit in that scenario is because you're adding additional time to the trade. And when you're an option seller, you actually get compensated for time. So you're basically kicking the can down the road to wait to see what happens with the stock's price action. Well, the reason you'd want to do that is it lessens your chance of assignment if you're rolling the trade down closer to the current action and you're pushing it further out. Because who's ever on the other end of that trade, they're less likely to exercise that sold put option if it's further out and there's not a whole lot of profit in it yet. So we like to make our trades a little bit safer by pushing them further out and then further down in strike price. So we did that today on a few of our trades. The other thing that it allows for is if a stock has breached through its level of support, then it's more than likely headed down to the next level of support. that allows time for it to hit that new level of support and bounce back up, giving the trade that you pushed out further a better chance for expiring worthless. So that's how rolling can protect you in those situations. Now, some may argue and say, well, why don't we just wait till expiration date to actually roll the trade? Well, that's tomorrow for a lot of our trades, and we could wait, but that increases our chance of assignment, early assignment. And early assignment happens when it is prior to the expiration date at the close of the day, and you're early assigned the shares, and you lose the control at that point. You lose the ability to actually roll the trade if you're early assigned. And finally, what I like to do in a pullback or a crash or a bear market is I like to cash up with some of my trades that are winners. And the reason you do that is you want to lock in your gains while you can before the stock that you have the gains in decides to turn around and pull back as well. And that is going to help you build up the cash that you need for all the lucrative trading that's in front of you if we stay in a pullback scenario. Because remember, you do get more in premium when the VIX is high and stocks are falling. So this is going to give you that opportunity. So you're going to make the most money and become the most wealthy if you're able to effectively trade in pullbacks and bear markets, and then have the patience and the fortitude to allow your stocks that you were put the shares at a low price in a bear market, or that you purchased at a low price, or leaps that you purchased at a low price, then when everything turns back around, and inevitably it always does when you're dealing with quality stocks, then you are going to see significant gains on your portfolio, and you'll be in a much better situation had you not traded during the pullback. So that's the important part. You need to have the cash available so that you can enjoy getting these stocks at Black Friday prices and then enjoying them when they're in their prime. And so if you want to watch a video on how to cash up and how to handle when things are great to prepare for the worst, I made a video specifically for those moments, and I'm going to link that at the end of this video. Remember, if you're trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. Whether we're in a bear market or a bull market, you can find some answers with trading with Ashley. Here's that video I promised, and it's going to help you the next time stocks are soaring.